Wait, it's not like there was a door I could open here, yeah? Because I got the code for the medical and I got the code for the weapons locker. Oh, I didn't see anything. I think we're good. Let's use the tram. Weapon access locker, very nice. Let's use it. Let's pick up some stuff. Aris voltaic grenade, that's like 100 million. Nemesis arms gyrojet pistol. So that's kind of expensive. Let's equip this item. Ranged combat 7. Oh wow. Yeah, take it to stash. Needs a lot of skill. Well, Isabel would be able to use it. I'll get some subjects. Row upon row of man-sized pods line the walls of this room. Each pod contains a single occupant. Men and women, bound by restraints, all of them apparently asleep. The people in the pods seem almost peaceful in their slumber. They occasionally twitch and sway, but otherwise they remain motionless. Examine them. We lean in to get a closer look. The sleeper inside has the weathered, craggy features that you've come to associate with street-level living. For he's wearing a surprising amount of chrome for a homeless man. Ugly welts and bruises mottle his skin, and a handful of fresh wounds paint his torso. The incisions on his torso are surprisingly neat and clean. A recent surgery, perhaps. Upon close inspection, you see a slim braided cable that stretches from the wall to the sleeping man's dacha jack. The other end of the cable has been hooked to a nondescript Shiawase device that has been integrated into the pod. Glancing down the line of pods, you see that all of the sleepers are connected to their pods in a similar fashion. Oh, we're gonna be fighting them, aren't we? Gobbet's hand shoots up to her mouth. She looks like she might be sick. Well, that's disgusting. These poor people. This isn't science, it's a damn metahuman testing facility. Isabel motions towards the Shiawase device in one of the rooms. This, take a look at that. Each pod has one. My guess is that they're jacked into the Matrix and being forced to sleep, like a dream world that shuts down their higher brain functions. If only there was some way to get them out of here. It probably is, but it probably involves me waking them up, and then they're gonna activate the Reaper thingy. Yep. Something clanks nearby. The sound reverberates in the air, stretching and lengthening into a persistent hum. It sounds a bit like an ambient drone of an... Oh, like the ambient drone of an air circulation system. But as you listen, it grows louder. It gradually dawns on you that the noise isn't coming from the walls, but from the pods that protrude from them. Oh, that's ominous. There's another loud clank, and you catch a hint of motion in the pod nearest to you. The pod's occupant, a battered troll, this guy here, riddled with chrome, shifts uneasily against his restraints. As you watch, those restraints disconnect. The troll's eyes... Wait. The troll's and eyes slide open, and his face twists into a hateful snarl. Gobbet nearly leaps backward in surprise. Whoa, this thing's alright. Its anger is so overwhelming that I can almost taste it. There's no mind, just emotion. Really angry emotion. A monitor near you flickers to life. A nervous-looking Dr. Tang addresses you, eyes darting frantically around the room. I can't allow you to progress any further. Shiawase has invested millions of nuyen in the research in this lab. I can't let you threaten it. If you try to get any closer, I'm going to have to stop you. Well, I'm gonna go get what I want, whether you want me to or not. I can't let you do that. I can't. She looks to the right, just off screen, and makes a slicing gesture with her right hand. She hisses to somebody of the camera. I gave you the signal. Open the pods. Damn it. Wake the damn things. The troll peers at you through red, vacant eyes. The door of his pod slides open, and like a chain reaction, several other pods follow suit. There's an explosion of motion from the pods. The subjects contained within charge you like a pack of rabid beasts. Well, that's bullshit, because they're not charging me right now. There's only 2 of them, yeah? No, 3 of them. We should probably retreat a little bit. Why does Goblin have only two points here? Whatever. Can do this. Go here. Activate Koshche. Koshche can go here. And also do it Overwatch. Now I'm gonna Overwatch. Yeah, why not? Actually no, do this. And since I'm... Give me some armor. And we can Overwatch here. We should be okay. Excuse me? I'm pretty sure I Overwatched there. Yo, 6 health around. Hey Koshi, this is a shot. Okay, this is supposed to be a shotgun shot. Why do you why is there no option to actually get you Yeah, why does... If I shoot here, it's actually gonna hit me too. So why is this not working properly? Okay, you could, but that didn't work properly as it should. Whatever, haste me please. I kind of want to kill you at least with these guys. Wow, we're missing so much. I hate it. Okay. Okay, she's not gonna wake up. So we can do this, and we still got an action point. That was a misclick, but it wasn't my fault. You turn to see Dr. Tang watching the scene from the telecom. Her face visibly pales as the final test subjects fall to the floor. She sputters, barely able to form a coherent sentence. I can't... All of them? She stares, bug-eyed, into the camera, her pupils flitting back and forth as she takes in the carnage on her screen. But they were supposed to be killing machines. Their cyberware was top of the line. Oh, did I break your toys? They weren't toys, damn it. They were invaluable research subjects. The end result of years of research. I know that doesn't mean anything to you, but they were worth more than you can imagine to the science that we're doing here. Well, you're doing barbarism. Doing crimes against humanity. Meta-humanity, actually. All that time, all that work, flushed down the drain for nothing. I sacrificed those subjects to stop you. You know why? Because you can't be down here. I'm not kidding. You have to turn back to the way you came. Look, You have no idea what we're storing down here, how dangerous this place is. Her voice is level, but you can hear the undercurrent of desperation here. Your even being here is a huge breach of every lab safety protocol on the books, but you can still turn back. Well, oh, you know what? If you do as I say, there doesn't have to be any more bloodshed. If you're using test subjects to slow us down, then you really are out of options. He nods contemplatively. Excellent. That means you understand your predicament. We will be in your lab shortly, Doctor. I would advise you to stay out of our way. Look, you just don't get it. I work in a BSL-4 hot lab. That means I'm surrounded by aerosolized, lethal, highly infectious pathogens. Her voice comes out in a tight rasp. Literally anything that you find in here could kill you horribly. Hell, half of the stuff in here could cause a global pandemic if they were to escape quarantine. This is more important than your damn job. She takes a deep breath and releases it into the mic. Look, I don't expect you to listen to me, but I'm going to say it one last time. It would be in everyone's best interest for you to turn back, especially yours. She cuts the transmission and her face winks across the various street screens in the room. We are gonna go further. Now, the game wants me to go here, but maybe we can go this way? No, this is not where the medical locker is. Where is it then? Oh, just another tram, okay. Terminal. What's the code? Is it gonna be 8236? Laboratory Gamma 4 quarantine. Security lockdown engaged. Access level Omega 4 required for entry. Oh, we have a keycard. I'm dumb. Locked. Shouldn't be a problem though. Try the keycard that you picked up, Fist. If I remember correctly, it should have the appropriate credentials. Let's swipe the keycard. You lift the card to the slot, but before you can slide it through, the figure of a frightened woman erupts onto the scanner's screen. Dr. Janet Tang. I told you before, you can't come in here. She breathes. Her breaths come in tight, panicked gasps. She's doing her best to stay calm, but she's clearly terrified. I don't like repeating myself, so listen, please. This lab is restricted for a reason. Beside the obvious fact that it's full of deadly contagions, it also contains highly sensitive and very expensive equipment that only trained scientists can handle. You barge in here and mishandle a single vial, and you will, in all likelihood, infect yourself with whatever's inside. That would be a disaster. And I mean that quite literally. So you best probably give me some incentive not to mishandle any vials then. Beads of sweat trace their way down her forehead. Are you joking? Or are you just crazy? How many times do I have to tell you what will happen if you come in here and make a mistake? Rector scoffs at her. Come now, Doctor. Given the remote access precautions that these labs take, I seriously doubt that exposure is a serious risk. If this is anything like the labs that we had back in Russia, anything that could pose a serious threat is hidden behind the rows of negative pressure safety nets. and accessible only via remote-operated Waldo frames. Well, I'm gonna try to keep the lab intact, but no promises. I'm not gonna break anything. Why would I? That would be dumb. Why would I open this door here? Dr. Janet. Dr. Janet Tang stands firm. Given the situation, she looks remarkably well composed. She waits calmly as you approach. Her shoulders held rigid and her arms crossed over her chest. Her two associates shuffle awkwardly behind her. Their hands shaking. They look terrified. I told you not to come in. You shouldn't be in here. Her tone is firm, but there's a slight tremor in her voice. Listen to me. You've made a horrible mistake, one wrong move, and you'll release God knows what into the room. Hey, if you work with me instead of against me, we can all leave in one piece. She raises her hands in a calming gesture. I understand, and we're willing to cooperate with you to move things along faster. We all want to get out of here alive. So this is me cooperating. You tell me what you want, and I'll give it to you. No more arguments. Tell me about the super disease that you're cooking up in here. It has a cure, right? The doctor blinks at you. Her voice goes cold. You're talking about the pathogen GT0009, SARS-3. I guess that's the one. Tell me about it. I can't. I'm sorry, but all information on the GT0... Got that stuff off. I mean, SARS-3 is classified, and for good reason. It's one of the worst things we've ever produced in this lab. We can't let you... Eyes fly open. You're not here to take it, are you? Please tell me this isn't what you're here to do. Let's see. Remember what we agreed on. Help me and no one gets hurt. Don't go back on that now. She glances at her associates, both cowering behind her and shaking violently. You can hear one of them murmuring something in a language unknown to you. From a cadence of the words, you'd suggest that it's a prayer. She exhales slowly through her rebreather. Alright, I'll tell you everything I know. SARS-3 is a Category 4 lethal pathogen. It's 99.98% fatal, excruciatingly painful, and it kills within a matter of weeks. As of right now, the only cure is a prototype antibody treatment. We're still working on fine-tuning it. In case you haven't been paying attention, I'm going to say this one more time. SARS-3 is terrible. It's easily the cruelest, most infectious, and most lethal thing ever to have come out of a lab. It cannot be allowed out into the wild. I want to know how it kills. The disease works by replicating the identifying features of white blood cells, tricks the immune system into ignoring it, and then it self-replicates at an exponential rate. During this early phase, while it's colonizing the body, a patient doesn't experience any overt symptoms, just mild temperature and an elevated white cell count. That's it. She pauses. Are you sure that you want me to go on? It's pretty gruesome. Keep it coming. Alright, okay, here we go. Once the virus has thoroughly colonized the host, it begins a devastating attack on the body. It rapidly infects epithelial cells, inserting its own RNA at such a tremendous rate that the cell membranes rupture, spewing cytoplasm and virions into surrounding cells. By the time the attack has begun, the damage dealt is almost immediately irreversible. Okay, what does it actually do to people? The virus induces a hypersensitivity reaction in its host. Lungs fill with mucus and sputum, leading to hypoxia. Victims drown in their own fluids. We spent a long time developing it. The secret was hybridizing the standard SARS coronavirus. Oh. Okay. That's unfortunate. With a third strain of virally induced toxic allergy syndrome, Vitus 3. That's why standard treatment won't work. Yeah, that's goddamn horrible. Yeah, well, don't want to be told to be. Oh wait, don't want to be an I told you so, but she shrugs. It's a bioweapon. They don't have much deterrent value if they aren't horrible. Besides, her eyelids heavy. Anyway, there you have it. SARS 3, my baby. I'm not exactly proud of having made it. Okay, tell me how about the cure. How do we fix somebody who's been exposed? We developed a strain of monoclonal antibodies in tandem with the disease. It isn't perfect, but it works. That's the only cure. Okay, I was attacked by some test subjects of yours. Care to tell me anything about that? Ah, Tang's eyes scanned the ground at her feet. I suppose there's no withholding information at this point, is there? Nope. You can see the doctor's cheeks pull downward, and she frowns beneath her mat. She nods her head somberly. The two researchers behind her, the doctor mimic her gesture, their heads bobbing up and down like a couple of pigeons. They're part of a study called Project Silver Dream. Each subject has been implanted with a prototype BTL chip. The goal of the project is to create a perfect switch for sleeper agents and spies, one that can remain undetected by current scanning and identification technology. As of right now, the project is still early testing. Our subjects are more often used as testbeds for new cyberware, while the Silver Dream BTO chip is being refined. A necessary adaptation, considering that our field experiments have only achieved partial success thus far. Unfortunately, we haven't always been able to maintain complete control over the test subjects. The Silver Dream team is still working on that. Your run-in with the test subjects wasn't an accident. I'm sure that you'd figured that out already. It was a hasty decision on my end. You already know why I did it. They were the only things standing between you and my lab, and I was trying to avoid a containment breach. I stand by that decision for what it's worth. Okay, I want the rest of your test subjects locked up. The program runs on a delicate framework. Casual tinkering with the system could be dangerous, not just for our machines, but for the subjects as well. If you really want to disconnect the test subjects, there's a particular order that you need to do it in. First, you need to disconnect the matrix interlocks. Then you'll need to initiate a supervised override of the SimSense feeds. Trying to do anything with the test subjects without observing the proper procedure would be disastrous. If I were to try it myself, without help and the proper permissions, I'd probably flub it. I would in turn trigger the station's matrix defenses, which would only make a bad situation worse. If you want to do anything with those test subjects, knock yourself out, but don't expect me to help. I know when I'm over my head. Or when I'm in over my head. No. Could any of the Silver Dream test subjects have been infected with SARS-3? No, no way. It isn't the researcher on the station who would do such a thing. She stops, as if stricken by a thought. Wait, Dr. Nagai came to me a couple months ago asking for a SARS-3 sample. I didn't think it was unusual at the time. All of us Gamma-4 need the occasional sample for further studies, but... Well, what? As far as I know, I never received his report on that sample. The sample itself was never returned, either. The way that our system works, it's impossible to take or return samples without our computers logging the transaction, which means he either still has it or he used it somehow. The last of the color drains from Tang's place. His numbers were slipping too. We were contacted by the board not long before he requested that sample. I can't imagine he'd be desperate enough to use it in such a risky and uncontrolled environment, and on such valuable subjects. I have to concede that it's a possibility, though. What about this facility? Can it keep your projects safely inside? I want details. Well, nothing's ever completely foolproof, but any project as sensitive as ours requires a lot of very careful controls and strict adherence to procedure. GOS is very strict about safety for obvious reasons. She begins ticking off items on her fingers. Reducing the number of potential exposures is one way that we've prepared for an outbreak scenario. We run on a skeleton crew, maybe 200 workers at most. Yeah, that's a skeleton crew, obviously. As you can imagine, living down here for long periods can be difficult, and people rarely acclimate enough to last more than a couple months. To prevent our projects from suffering, GOS cycles its employees out every 14 weeks. There are no break days while working the underwater cycle, but we're greatly compensated during our off months. Still, people find a way to get bored, so we try not to keep anyone on staff that we don't need. Most of our security and menial labor is handled by drones. We still have a few flesh and blood security personnel. I think that Commander Gara's been down here longer than anybody, but mostly it's all drones for the blue collar work. Doctor gives you a sideway look. This can't be why you broke into my lab. I guess that I can understand how you might be curious about an underwater laboratory, but I don't know all that much really. Only what I've told you. Okay. Other stuff though. She raises her arms, palms towards you. She's sweating. Wait, just wait. Before you do anything, please listen. We aren't bad people. We're scientists. We're assigned a dreadful task, and who did what they had to do to keep their jobs. That kind of thing happens to everybody. I'll bet that it's even happened to you once or twice. Nope, never did. Please, don't hold our professionalism against us. Let us go, or maybe we can do something good out there. We'll find a different corporation to work for, and better projects to pursue. Don't kill us. I'm not like you, Doc. I don't kill unless I have to, and I don't make excuses for myself when I do. Now take your men and get out of here. Her head jolts up in surprise. Her associates look at each other as if they expected you to change your mind. Or maybe convinced your words are a trick. She takes a step forward. Her voice stutters. I don't know what to say. I don't think you... Thank you for sparing us. I won't forget this. I'm guessing I'm supposed to take this thing. Isabel watches the door close behind the researchers. She addresses you, eyes still on the door. I'd like to remind you that we have a sterilization countdown in progress. Several grave subjects at our backs and a potential disease outbreak in this facility. What's our next move? I'd like nothing more than to book it back to the subway. But we've got a job to finish. We're in the germ lab, right? So the SARS-3 cure should be in here somewhere. Flashing light of a nearby console catches your eye. With a static click, a handful of monitors mounted around the lab display and an unfamiliar face. Commander Gara. Attention all staff. Attention all staff. This is Commander Gara. I've ordered a red level security lockdown due to a specialist facility intrusion. All personnel should drop whatever they're doing and report to the safe rooms in Sector 9 immediately. Until this security breach has triggered an automated sterilization sweep. 30 minutes time, a squadron of drones will deoxygenate the premises to prevent the escape of any loose pathogens. If you haven't reported to Sector 9 by that time, you're done. You will not survive the sweep. Siren blares over the intercoms as the lab's monitors replace Commander Gara's heart pictures with a countdown timer. Moments later, a computer-generated voice activates. Matrix system wipe initiated. Sterilization system on standby. All personnel report to Sector 9. Well, they couldn't spell it out for us any clearer than that. If we stay, we die. Namazu's sector commanders will no doubt have localized overrides for the trams. We'll need to eliminate them to escape. Let's not die. But what about all those test subjects? They didn't choose this fate. JOS made that decision for them. Should we lock them up? Or set them free? Your call, Fist. Once the Matrix lockdown is in place, we'll lose the opportunity to do anything regarding the test subjects. Every computer down here will be encrypted to hell and back. You want to intervene on the test subjects' behalf, either to set them free or lock them away for safekeeping. You need to do it before that timer is up.